What's up, everyone? Trevor here with Tag Performance and Nutrition. And if you don't know me, that's who I am. Yeah, if you're watching me live, I just want you to check that you're writing in live in the comments. I know it's kind of spur of the moment here. I wanted to get this out before I get client trainings tonight. So I thought I'd get it out. But if you are watching live, just click in the comments that you're here so I can see who is watching live. Other than that, you can put some emojis in there as well. So just let me know that you're watching if you're watching live. So, I mean, holidays are coming up. Whether you're celebrating Hanukkah, which is going right now, I believe tomorrow's the last day of Hanukkah, or Christmas next week, or New Year's, whatever it may be. There's a lot of this is a good time we spend with family. I know this year's obviously been a lot different with COVID and restrictions and all that stuff, but one of the biggest questions I get a lot this year, or people ask, or you see around, is can you enjoy your favorite holiday treats and still reach your goals? That's the $1 million question here. Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video tonight. But again, if you don't know me already, if you didn't catch the beginning, I'm Trevor with Tag Performance and Nutrition. And if you're watching me live, make sure you are commenting in the comments or put an emoji that you are here so I know who is watching live. Other than that, you can check it out. I'll be recording this and uploading it later too if you didn't catch the live. But yeah, so back to that question. Can you enjoy your favorite holiday treats and still reach your goals? Or do you have to skip the holiday cookies and all those pies and whatever your family celebrates or eats on the holidays? Do you have to skip those, or can you enjoy them and still stay on track? Well, to be honest, like most things in fitness and nutrition, and when it comes to each individual person, the answer is going to be it depends. And you'll hear me say that a lot because it truly does depend on different things. It depends on you, your current situation, where you're at, what you've done in the past, and all this stuff comes with your nutrition and your habits like that. But I'm going to describe two simple scenarios right now, and be sure to hit like if you can relate the like button if or love whatever those if you can relate to either of these situations that I'm going to describe. So scenario one would be, let's say you got a favorite type of cookie, maybe that your mom or your grandma makes for you, and you've been eating them ever since you're a little kid, and it's their secret recipe, and you just love these cookies, and you always eat them every Christmas or every holiday. But if that cookie you're gonna eat it on whatever Christmas Day, let's say, and it's gonna just send you into the obligatory rabbit hole where you're then go that one cookie is going to lead to like a weekend or a week long binge, and overindulging on foods that are the ultra processed foods, or the foods that are quote unquote bad, even though they are not really any good or bad foods. But then maybe the answer is no, and you shouldn't indulge in these foods on the holidays, and that kind of leads to a bigger issue, and you probably should maybe not do it. Not saying that you can never do it down the road, but maybe not at this moment in time. But the answer is not that simple. Like I said, it's just a yes or no, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But because it's such a big issue, and a lot of people are thinking these things. But now I just want to go over scenario two, what that would be. So let's say the same cookie that you love, you've been eating since a kid, but if you can eat that cookie, you can enjoy it. You savor every bite of it, and then you're done, and you don't feel any guilt. You're not guilty. You don't get a guilty feeling like, oh, I just ate off plan, or oh, I just had something bad, and I screwed up everything, and it's gonna mess up all your progress. Um, but if you can just eat the cookie, not have that guilty feeling, and just enjoy it, enjoy the food for what it is, because food is not just fuel; it is so much more. It's emotional, it's social, all that stuff. The social aspect of the holidays and eating during the holidays and these um, treats that you've grown up enjoying. So if you can do that, then I suggest, yeah, plan for those days to have the treats on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever, New Year's Day, whenever you're celebrating. plan those out. Don't just go in and wing it and go, "Oh, here we go." But if you can just have the treats on that day or one meal or one day, whatever it may be, knowing that it's not going to cause you that guilty feeling, or it's not going to have you feeling like, oh, I just screwed up all my progress, then you're golden. That's what you want, because you got to have that in life. So, but yeah, save those times for the foods that you know you love, your favorite treats, favorite cookie, favorite pie, whatever it may be. I know I've said this in the past if you watch my videos that mine is pumpkin pie. So I'll plan for that around the holidays, and just know that if I do eat it, it's not going to screw up my progress. That one day is not going to matter too much. But if you're just eating again, go back to that scenario one, if you're eating the cookie and then it turns into you're just eating every um, treat on holidays, and it's just leaving you more and more, and you're just indulging, and it turns into a day, it turns into a weekend, it turns into a week, and then a month long binge type thing. Then maybe there's a bigger issue there, like I said before, and I'll get back to that anymore. And you don't need to eat the treats that you don't eat the treats just to eat them, especially if it's something that you're not particularly fond of or you don't really like. You don't need to do that, especially if it's just something that's going to leave you feeling bloated and stuff like that. So enjoy the treats you like if you are at that point where you can feel and you don't feel the guilt and stuff like that after eating something and feel like you screwed up all your progress. Then go for it, plan it out, enjoy those treats especially around the holidays. But now getting back into that first scenario that I mentioned about what if you're in that large that it's a large percentage of people that think this way. They find it hard to stop snacking once you start. Mainly because these foods that you are snacking on, they're not calorically dense. They're not nutritiously dense, nutrient dense foods. They're a lot of empty calories. So that's the point of them. They make them that way so you eat more, like the bags of chips, those salty treats like that. They make it so you eat more and more, and then you buy more and more because you eat it and you're not feeling full. Um, but yeah, again, if you are stuck in that mode where you can't stop snacking when you start, especially, um, but say you've been doing really good for like the first part of the month, heading into the holidays, and you've been eating really well and training and all that stuff. And then if one treat's going to make you dive in and go all off the rails, then yeah, it might not be the best thing um, for you at this point in time. But because there's several things at play here, so maybe you've have heard all or nothing thinking. A lot of people think it's all in or all nothing. You have to be all healthy foods or none at all, because if you eat one little thing off that, you're screwing up. This is called dichotomous thinking. Basically means that you think there's no middle ground to it, and you're either, and it's again with that thinking of food as good or bad, which is a bad way to think in the first place. So especially with food choices, you got to stop thinking of foods as good or bad or all or nothing. It is super common. I've been there in the past. I know a lot of people I work with have too, and that's one thing we work on is helping building the relationship. Um, and the kicker here is that at least in the short term, parts of the mindset actually can help you reach your goals, because it means you're focused on doing the things that you believe will help. But in all likely, it's actually a trap, because it actually works against you long term, and makes it more hard to maintain your results, because it's not sustainable. And that's the main thing with our nutrition plan, with our training, with our sleep. It has to be sustainable. It has to be something you can stick with long term. Otherwise, like I said, with this, it's not going to work. So it makes any celebration that involves food or drink um, like a minefield, where you're going in with this thinking you're trying to avoid this, can't eat that, trying to step here so boom, you don't step on that mine. Otherwise, all hell breaks loose and you're going down that road. But um, and then if you do see something that you don't think falls into a good category, um, then you end up beating yourself up. You feel that guilt. You have that like weighing on you the next day. I know I've been there in the past. Like, oh, I ate this now. I screwed up on my progress. Or even worse, you end up just going wild, eating all kinds of foods that are in your bad category. I'm using that in quotes because you shouldn't be thinking his food is good and bad. And that's one thing I work with clients with is building that healthy relationship with food and not thinking in terms of good or bad, all or nothing, that type of thing. But it's really common to for you to think that, oh, I've messed up and I screwed up my progress because I had one day of eating foods I enjoy, the cookies, the baked goods, the sweets, all that stuff on a holiday. So I might as well eat everything, and then that you've been denying yourself, and then start over again on Monday, which in turn then you end up uh, not not starting again on Monday, and you just are done. You just give up altogether. But so if this is something, either of those situations are something you can relate to, let me know in the comments. Put a like. Excuse me. Put a like, put a smiley, whatever it is, put an emoji that you want, drop that in the comments. Let me know if either of these situations have been part of your past or currently right now. Uh, excuse me. An approach um, that you can maintain life, the long term plan is, I mean, it's a common word you've heard of in many things probably is moderation. You can't go into that all or nothing. No water. Oh, got something back to my throat. Sorry. um, but yeah, it's that moderation. You can't be all or nothing, good or bad. It's you can eat everything, anything really. Again, it's I've always thought that 80-20 rule is good, 90-10, 95, depending on your goals. Uh, that way, um, of eating, the cookie is not a big deal, or the cake or pie or whatever your sweet treat is not a big deal, and you don't skip it just because it's not in your plan or it's not healthy, so to speak, because it's it is good for you. Like I said before, earlier in this video and other videos, that food is not just fuel for your body. It's not all good or bad. It's got to be that social aspect, that emotional aspect of eating that delicious cookie that grandma or mom bakes, that you've had all your life growing up as a kid, growing up from the time you were a kid. That plays into it too. And the most important thing I think to remember is that your results come from the things you are consistently doing day in, day out, week, month at a time, years at a time, not just the occasional indulgences, especially if you're eating well 80-90% of the time. You can have those one meal a week or a meal on a holiday, a day holiday eating. You're going to be fine. Sure, you might feel a little bloated or something the day after, but just get back on track. Don't feel that you got to work on not feeling that guilt, that guilt of eating so to speak poorly, and just getting really down on yourself and beating yourself up about it with those occasional indulgences. So if you're used to using this all or nothing approach, I it's tough to let that mindset go, but um, it takes time. I know it took time for me having that all or nothing mindset um, to retain that and learn. And it might even be scary. You might be thinking, "Oh, I'm scared of even trying this." But that fear is usually a good thing. A lot of times, fear is a good thing because it's something that you know is important, and you got to get rid of that to ultimately enjoy life and live the best life, rather than following a bunch of strict rules. Because what if instead of following these bunch of strict rules, you focus on creating small, sustainable habits that actually help you feel better mentally, physically, emotionally? They help you look better, give you more energy, all that stuff. And all that stuff is it can make a huge difference, not only um, physical, but just the way you feel, the confidence you have, and not feeling like you're holding yourself back when you're going out to eat on these holiday meals or social events and things like that. Because that could mean just coming up with a few healthy snack options too that you would enjoy. You can There's plenty of recipes out there. No, I post some in my group. So if you are interested, I'll post a link to my group with this too if you want to join that with healthy recipes um, to make snacks and stuff like that. Or feel free to reach out and comment below if you have a favorite food. Just go on the internet, search stuff. You can always make foods, cookies and stuff with like that, pies with more actual real food ingredients. A lot of the foods in stores aren't made with real food, and that's why we can eat them so much. Like I said before, they're full of sugars and low nutrients, so we just eat and eat them without feeling full. But if you make them with like real food ingredients, they can be pretty good and um, sometimes even better, just because they are real food. So you can find healthy recipes to enjoy the foods you love too. If you do like baking or cooking, or if you know someone who is good at baking, maybe mom's a good baker or grandma's a good baker, so give her that recipe. Let's see, uh, make them make up a little bit of healthier options. So that's always an option too that you can rotate through over the course of a week, or finding different like breakfast ideas or lunch ideas to help you keep fill, fill you up and provide you with the nutrients you did, but still having those options of it's a food you love, but just using real ingredients. So that's another option you can do. But yeah, if you need some help in this area of working on that mindset, building that better relationship, getting rid of that all or nothing thinking, that dichotomic thinking, um, and just overcoming that, getting over your fear of um, that all or nothing thinking again, where you're so set on these strict rules where you can't enjoy your meals out or these holiday meals, holiday treats, then please reach out. With my coaching, I work on you developing a strong mindset, and working toward ultimately this life of moderation, so to speak, or that 80-20, 90-10 rule where you're not so strict and you can enjoy these foods you love, especially not, and you're not having them all the time, but still make progress because you're doing all the other things consistently, day in and day out, where you have that time to enjoy the meals you love with the people you love. So reach out, comment below, set up a free discovery call where we'll go over this. We'll get into what you've done in the past, your background, where you're currently at, what you're struggling with, and then see if I have a good program to um, work with you on and see if you would be a good fit work with me. So we're here to support you and help with your success and struggles and help you reach your goals. So I hope you find this video helpful and have an amazing day, guys. Have amazing holidays. I'll probably try to get another live here within the next before Christmas. So stay tuned for stay tuned on that. And again, feel free to comment below if you uh, got anything helpful information from this video, or if you are ready to schedule your free discovery call, put discovery call below or send me a DM. We'll get started. We'll help you work through this mindset, work through your relationship. Again, it's not a quick fix. Nothing in fitness and nutrition is. So it's working again to help you build those long-term sustainable goals, starting small, building those on, stacking those together, so to speak, until they ultimately become routine and become behaviors, and where you're ultimately living the healthiest life, the best life, and becoming the best version of yourself. So, thanks again, guys. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon.